BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has described referendums being held in Russia in 4 regions it occupies in Ukraine as a sham. He said the vote, which Moscow says shows almost total support for joining Russia, will never be recognised by the West. The UN's nuclear watchdog says new explosions and shelling have hit the Zaporizhzhia power plant in Ukraine. The IAEA said there was no damage at the Russian-occupied plant, but that it highlighted the urgent need for a protection zone around it. 15 European Union countries are calling for faster action by Brussels on capping the wholesale price of gas across the bloc. They say the energy crisis is causing untenable inflationary pressures, which are hitting households and businesses hard. The International Monetary Fund has publicly criticised fiscal plans by Britain's new government, warning they could undermine monetary policy and were likely to increase inequality in the country. The value of the pound sterling slumped to an all-time low following the announcement of sweeping tax cuts to be funded by borrowing. Jury selection has begun in the high-profile trial of 5 members of a far-right US militia involved in the assault on the US Capitol building last year. The leader of the Oath Keepers and 4 other members face the rarely used charge of seditious conspiracy. Hundreds of thousands of residents in western Cuba are without power after a strengthening hurricane with winds of nearly 200 kilometres an hour hit the island. Tens of thousands of Cubans in low-lying coastal areas were told to leave their homes. And prosecutors in Colombia have opened an investigation into a woman who used racist terms to abuse Vice President Francia Marquez during an anti-government protest on Monday. Esperanza Castro called Ms. Marquez a monkey. BBC News.